Have you ever looked at a car and felt like you were staring directly into the future of everyday driving? Welcome back to Crownland Reviews, where we get behind the wheel of the cars that actually matter to you and your family. The electric vehicle market has been moving at lightning speed, and sometimes it feels like every new car is either a $100,000 luxury spaceship or a tiny impractical city buggy. But today, we're looking at something that sits perfectly in the sweet spot. Sitting right here in this beautiful, glass-walled showroom is the brand new 2026 BYD Atto 2, and it is making a massive statement without shouting. To really understand why this car is so important, we have to look back for just a moment. If you follow the car world, you know that BYD has been on an absolute tear lately. Their previous model, the Atto 3, was a global smash hit. It proved that an electric family car could be affordable, reliable, and packed with technology. But let us be completely honest, the Atto 3 had some very quirky design choices, especially on the inside, that were not for everyone. It was a bit like a teenager trying to find their personal style. The Atto 2 is what happens when that teenager grows up, goes to design school, and comes back wearing a perfectly tailored suit. It takes all the brilliant engineering of the past and wraps it in a much more mature, universally appealing package. Just look at this specific car sitting in front of us. The first thing that grabs your attention is this stunning liquid silver paint job. It is not just a flat gray, it has a metallic depth to it that catches the bright showroom lights and highlights every single crease and curve on the body. It makes the car look incredibly premium, almost like it was carved from a single block of aluminum. BYD has completely redesigned the front end, moving away from the softer, rounded looks of their older cars. Now, we have this sharp, aggressive nose with the BYD letters sitting proudly in the center, flanked by a sleek, illuminated light bar that stretches all the way across the hood. But the real magic is in the details of those headlights. Notice those sharp, angular LED daytime running lights that hook downwards like fangs. They give the Atto 2 a focused, determined look like it is ready to pounce. Below that, you have this large, blacked-out lower intake area featuring a really intricate honeycomb pattern. Even though electric cars do not need massive grills for cooling like gas cars do, this design choice breaks up the front end beautifully and gives the car a sporty, grounded stance. It is a brilliant mix of modern electric minimalism and traditional automotive aggression. Moving around to the side profile, the design team has used some very clever visual tricks to make this compact SUV look longer and sleeker than it actually is. You can see the black wheel arches and the black lower cladding running along the bottom of the doors. This does not just protect the paint from rock chips, it visually slims down the side of the car, making it look athletic rather than bulky. Then there is that sharp, distinct crease running straight through the doors, catching the light and adding a sense of forward motion even when the car is parked dead still. They have also included flush door handles that pop out when you unlock the car, which is a feature you usually only see on cars that cost twice as much. And we have to talk about how this car sits on the ground. It is rolling on these gorgeous two-tone alloy wheels, a mix of bright silver and gloss black designed to look like spinning turbine blades. They look to be about 18 or 19 inches, which fills the wheel wells perfectly without compromising the ride quality. Up top, you will notice the black roof rails and the blacked-out pillars, which create this beautiful floating roof effect. It is a design technique that makes the cabin look light and airy from the outside. Every single line on this exterior feels intentional, cohesive, and incredibly modern. Now, while we are admiring it from the outside, let us talk about what it feels like to actually live with this car on the inside. Stepping into the Atto 2 is like walking into a modern, minimalist living room. BYD has listened to the feedback from their previous models and toned down the wild shapes and colors. Instead, you are greeted by soft touch materials, incredibly comfortable seats that feel like they are hugging you, and a sense of calm quietness. The centerpiece, of course, is the massive touchscreen in the middle of the dash. And yes, just like other BYD models, with the touch of a button, the screen physically rotates from landscape to portrait mode. It sounds like a gimmick, but when you are using the navigation map, having a tall portrait screen is actually incredibly useful. For a family, space is everything, and this is where the Atto 2 really surprises you. Because it is built on a dedicated electric platform, there is no bulky engine up front or exhaust pipe running underneath the floor. This means the engineers were able to push the wheels out to the very corners of the car, creating a massive amount of room inside. Even if you are a taller adult, you can sit in the back seat with plenty of legroom and headroom. The floor in the back is completely flat, which means the person sitting in the middle seat does not have to awkwardly straddle a giant hump. It is these little thoughtful touches that make a car easy to live with day in and day out. Let us talk about the heart of this machine, because this is where BYD truly leads the world. The Atto 2 is powered by BYD's famous Blade battery technology. Now, I know battery talk can get technical and boring, but think of it this way. Traditional electric car batteries are made up of hundreds of little cylindrical cells, kind of like AA batteries packed together. The Blade battery is different. It uses long, flat, blade-like cells that slide into the battery pack like books on a shelf. This design is not just incredibly space efficient, allowing them to pack more energy into a smaller space, but it is also remarkably safe. It is designed to withstand extreme damage without catching fire, which gives you an incredible peace of mind when you are driving your family around. When it comes to range and performance, the Atto 2 is designed to take the anxiety out of electric driving. While official numbers can vary based on how you drive, you can expect a very healthy range that will easily cover a full week of commuting, grocery runs, and school drop-offs without needing to plug in. And when you do need to charge, it is equipped with fast charging capabilities. Imagine pulling up to a charging station, plugging in, grabbing a cup of coffee, and by the time you are done, the car has soaked up enough energy to get you through the rest of your week. It is about making the transition from gas to electric as seamless and painless as possible. But how does it actually feel when you press the start button and pull out onto the road? This is where the magic of electric vehicles really shines, and the Atto 2 executes it beautifully. When you put your foot down, there is no engine noise, no gear shifting, no hesitation. It is just a smooth, silent, and instant surge of power. It feels like you are gliding on a cushion of air. For city driving, this instant response is an absolute game changer. If you need to merge into a tight gap in traffic or get up to speed quickly on an on-ramp, the power is just there, waiting for you. It makes driving in heavy traffic significantly less stressful. Steering is light and effortless, which makes maneuvering through tight parking lots or narrow city streets incredibly easy. But do not mistake light steering for a lack of control. When you get out onto the open highway, the car feels planted, stable, and secure. The suspension is tuned perfectly for everyday comfort. It soaks up potholes, speed bumps, and rough pavement without sending those harsh jolts up into your spine. It is not a sports car, and it does not try to be. It is a comfortable, refined cruiser that aims to make your daily journey as relaxing as possible. I want to take a second to talk directly to those of you watching who might still be on the fence about making the jump to an electric car. Maybe you are worried about the technology, or the charging, or the long-term reliability. I completely understand those fears, but cars like the Atto 2 are exactly why the world is changing. Think about when you upgraded from an old flip phone to your first smartphone. It felt a bit intimidating at first, but within a week, you wondered how you ever lived without it. That is exactly what living with this car feels like. You wake up every morning with a full tank of electricity. The maintenance costs are a fraction of a gas car because there are so few moving parts, and the sheer quietness of the cabin makes every drive feel like a mini vacation. Of course, no car is absolutely perfect, and part of what we do here at Crownline Reviews is give you the honest truth. If you're someone who regularly drives hundreds of miles every single day through remote areas without charging infrastructure, an electric car might still require a bit too much planning for your lifestyle. And while the infotainment screen is massive and beautiful, the menus can sometimes feel a little bit cluttered until you get used to where everything is. There is a slight learning curve to the technology, but these are very minor trade-offs when you look at the complete package that BYD is offering here. When you factor in the cost of ownership, the Atto 2 becomes incredibly compelling. Electricity is generally much cheaper than gasoline, especially if you can charge at home overnight during off-peak hours. You do not have to pay for oil changes, spark plugs, or transmission fluid. Even the brake pads last significantly longer because the car uses the electric motor to slow down and recapture energy, a process called regenerative braking. Over the course of 5 years, the amount of money you save on running costs is substantial. It is a car that respects your wallet just as much as it respects the environment. So what is the final verdict on the 2026 BYD Atto 2? Who is this car actually for? This car is for the smart buyer. It is for the family who wants the premium feel, the advanced safety, and the whisper-quiet ride of a luxury electric vehicle, but refuses to pay a luxury brand markup. It is for the commuter who is tired of watching their paycheck disappear into a gas pump. BYD has taken everything they learned from their past successes, ironed out the wrinkles, and delivered a vehicle that feels incredibly sophisticated and ready for the mainstream. It is a car that does not just fit into your life, it actively makes your daily routine better, calmer, and more enjoyable. Thank you so much for joining us today on Crownline Reviews. If you found this deep dive helpful, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and let me know in the comments below what you think of that sharp new front-end design. Would you choose this over a traditional gas-powered SUV? We love reading your thoughts. Until next time, remember that the future of driving isn't just coming, it is already parked right here in the showroom. Drive safe, and we will see you in the next one.